Resident Evil 4, considered by many to be one of the greatest games ever made. It's receiving the remake treatment, following the success of Capcom's latest Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes. Today, we're going to be discussing and analyzing the trailer footage and screenshots provided by Capcom in their press release. Hello everyone, my name is Tomahawk, and I'm joined by our Resident Evil knowledgeable individual, John Zeroni.
Morning, John Zeroni here.
So, without further ado, let's get right into Resident Evil 4. So, the trailer starts off by actually telling us the release date before revealing what the actual game is. Now, I don't know about you, John, but when I first saw this, I was like, whoa, hold on now.
I thought it was the, what do you call it? A joke, or like one of those fan-made things.
Yeah, like
I didn't really believe it.
Like when I first saw this, I was like, whoa, these guys got balls. They revealed the release date before revealing the actual title. Like that screams that they're like, oh yeah, we're confident, man. We're gonna tell you when the game's coming out before we actually tell you what the game is. The next bit of the trailer is this it's a very interesting title reveal, is that it zooms in on this R, and then it reveals the actual title, and then the 4. And I don't know about you, John, but if you notice the music that's playing in the background.
Is that the from the car?
Yes.
You know what's funny? When I first heard that, I'm just like, why is there? What?
What
does this have to do with Resident Evil at all? Like,
Why
it
is this-
just seems so off.
Why is there this random Spanish music? Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Now that I listened to that, what?
Yeah, that's in the car when Leon's being driven into the village. That's the song playing on the radio. It just doesn't have the whole...
Not yet. No, man. Are you telling me that's gonna get remastered?
I have no
Or
idea.
that's an actual song?
Well, I don't know if that's the song, but I know just listening to it that I'm like, I think that's the song that plays. It just doesn't have the vocal.
Do you think we're gonna be able to get Kumbaya around the campfire?
I mean, we have the music, so... So anyway, we're gonna continue on with the trailer, and we start off with actually a screenshot. There were many screenshots that were provided in a Capcom press release, so this is the first screenshot we have of Leon sitting in the car, looking out the window. You have anything to say about this, John?
Yeah, the jacket he's wearing, it looks like the jacket that was worn in the Biohazard trailer in Japan. What did they dub it as? Like Resident Evil 3.5 or something?
Yeah, Resident Evil 3.5, the Hookman beta, I think you're thinking of. Yeah.
Like that's what that looks like, and I'm wondering if they're finally gonna technically bring back the original, because I think that was obviously first before the final game came out, right? So I think that's pretty cool.
So now we have this footage from the Capcom showcase of the face reveal of Mr. Leon S. Kennedy, as well as a screenshot. And you can tell just from this shot of Leon that this man has not slept in years.
I was gonna say, he looks tired.
Yeah, like he's got the bags under his eyes, hair is very, like
I wonder what he looks like in Resident Evil 2 compared to this one. I guess Resident Evil 2, he looked very young and,
yeah,
you know, ready to go. And now he's just like, yeah, I'm tired of this shit.
You could probably tell just from these two that, yeah, he is definitely, like, worn out. Like, he's seen some shit. And as we can tell by the dialogue...
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Like, you can tell he's got baggage, and he thinks that this time it's gonna be different. So, like, he couldn't save Ada. To what he knows, he thought he couldn't save Ada. But
Yeah,
this
maybe that's what
time,
that means.
this time, it can be different. Like, he can save Ashley, he can save people. Like, in Raccoon City, he really couldn't save anybody, if you think about it. Like, he couldn't save Marvin, he couldn't save, like, any of the survivors, really, and he has that guilt. So maybe this time, like, it can be different. I think that's gonna be really cool to see. So now we have this footage of Leon holding Ashley's photograph in the car, funny enough. Now, I don't remember if he had the picture in the car. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think we see it when he shows the one Ganado, but I don't
when he
think...
shows the first man.
Yeah, but
not
I
in
don't
the
think...
car, I don't think.
What do you think of Ashley's redesign?
I like it, actually. I have to give it like a good look, because I have the original in my head. I like the redesign.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more later when we get to Ashley's footage, but yeah. So this is technically our first look at a full face shot of Ashley. Moving on, we have this screenshot of the forest.
I like it. I like how wet it is.
Do you wanna talk about where this is?
Okay, now that you're quizzing me, hopefully I get this right. This I would assume would be after the first house, once that car moves. Right? That's what that looks like. It looks like there's the house, or that little shack thing on the right-hand side where you find your first typewriter.
Yeah, actually, I think there's two. There's this one on the left here, and then there's this one on the right.
There's another one there.
It looks like, and I'm not sure if we can see it in this screenshot or maybe a later one, but it looks like we can probably go inside both of these. So we might
imagine
find...
that's just like fallen wood or logs, and
maybe.
Capcom's just like, joke's on you. I like this. I like that scene. It looks terrifying, to be honest. I'm actually quite nervous to play this game.
And then we have the footage of him actually walking through.
Yeah, see, he doesn't have the gun in his hand.
No, so you can holster it probably then.
Nah, if that's the case, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, knowing me, I'm gonna end up having it holstered and then can't pull it out fast enough, and there goes me.
Also, let's take a look at this signpost. So,
yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at.
So in the original, the signpost was red and it had skulls on it. But this one doesn't have skulls. And if you look at it, it doesn't look like it's made of... Like, the original had, like, these sharp sticks. This one looks like it's more like two sticks and this kind of wooden plank. And with some cloth on it. And maybe it's just me, but, like, when Leon's right next to it, it's huge.
Maybe it might just be me, but it also looks like the Illuminato symbol.
I think that... John, I hate to break it to you.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, even in the original.
Oh my god, you know what's funny? I was looking, I'm just like, that looks like the symbol, but I'm just like, was it like that in the original? I was like, oh, I don't remember, I gotta go back and play.
John,
is it supposed to be that?
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
That's actually sick.
And that actually kind of segues into my point, which was that they removed the skulls and I guess it's like red paint or blood, whatever it is. And they just made it icon, just the icon of the symbol, rather than having it be a signpost that just, was a signpost for the sake of, ooh, it must mean danger, it has skulls on it. Like, the removal of the skulls and the removal of the red make it seem much more, at least to me, it makes it seem more intriguing, because because you look at it and go, like, what is that? It doesn't look like a cross, it's like a stick and an X. And like you said, John, it's the Los Illuminados symbol. That's what it's meant to imply. But because we know what Los Illuminados is, we can look at it and say, okay, this is obviously, Los Illuminados. But if this is our first time playing through, we see the signpost, we go, well, what does that mean?
I'll be honest, I didn't even notice that in the trailer until we're actually looking, at this right now. And I never know if it's supposed to be like that in the original game. I really did not notice that.
Anyways, so next screenshot is this. Oh,
this thing here, I cannot.
I know what you're about to say. I have a feeling
these crows are gonna attack you because those are big boys. Unless it's just how the angle is, but those things.
And
like in the original game, they flew away if you got too close. I think these ones might like pick at you or something.
Now the question is if you shoot the crows, do they drop money?
Oh wow, yeah. After all the people they picked at, they probably they should.
We talked about this the other day, but I want to bring
Where
it up
is this?
again. Yeah. Where in the village is this?
I cannot tell you.
And honestly, we had the theory that it was the gate to the village, but that might not be the case. This might be like an entirely new gate and an entirely new area. Though these trees do make an appearance in the original game, it definitely feels like a new area. But it might be a
I have a
remake.
feeling it might be. You know how in the game he gets dropped off just past the bridge. You start walking up and the house is right there. I have a feeling it's gonna be like they're gonna drop you off just before this gate, and then you walk through the gate and you end up in the first house area.
Oh, so you're thinking they're gonna rearrange the opening
yeah.
of the game. So it's
And
like
the more you walk down those pathways after the first house, you end up in the village.
yeah, so they might
That's what I could see from here. Other than that, this might be just like you said, a completely new, different area.
this is
That's
his
the original handgun. Man.
that is his original handgun. I
It's
saw
like
it.
they just took that model from the old game and just polished it up. Like, that does not look any different.
What I'm wondering is because in RE2 Remake they call it the Matilda, they don't call it just handgun. Are they going to do the same thing here? Is it
Ooh.
not? Is it going to be called Silver Ghost? We'll have to see. As for the laser dot, or like the laser sight, I'm gonna be honest, I think it might be an attachable. I don't think like every like gun's gonna come standard with like the laser sight. I think it might be an attachment. Because if you remember in 2 and I think 3 Remake, you had gun attachments that you could find and equip. I think one of them had a laser sight attachment. So I think you might still find attachments for your guns, and one of them might be laser sight.
There's a lot of, not resistance, but a lot of shaking. Like, look at that. As he's walking, like, look how, like, say goodbye to your accuracy.
Now, is that because he's walking? Or is that
Maybe.
because of the guns, like, is it like a base stat type of thing? Where
That's what I was just thinking too. Like, if you were to find upgrades or attachments or whatever, is that going to change?
he crouches when he like approaches this barbed wire, he crouches. Is that a crouch button, or does he just automatically crouch when he walks up to this?
It's probably going to be a button.
Because if that's the case, then the question is, there's a crouch button. What is that button?
It's going to be stupid stealth missions.
Is there stealth? Is there ducking into cover? Is there,
Ooh.
is there dodge mechanics? Is there melee mechanics? What kind of mechanics do we know? But that could
I'm hoping
definitely
they release something soon when it comes to the gameplay. Like, I want to see at least like the first village fight or something.
Mhm.
Just that. That would be enough to keep me going till March.
We're talking about the layout of this house and how there's no second floor. There's this
It's
door
flipped.
here, but it does look flipped, doesn't it?
Yeah, because the window, that top window is supposed to be on the right hand side
Yeah,
of the original house. So this one looks like it's just flipped.
but at the same time, if you look at the window, it's boarded up. So I don't think we can jump out of this window.
Maybe you can jump out, but you don't jump out like I did before. Maybe you can like break through it and you're on the roof.
Maybe, but you also look at the roof, it's been collapsed. So maybe if there is a second floor, you can like see into the outside because of how the roof is kind of like in shambles.
Also, if you notice, just the chimney has smoke coming out of it.
Right.
That shows that there's life in there. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's kind
Kinda-
of hinting because we see the first Ganado by the fire, right?
Yeah, and I
So-
like that.
So it's kind of
Because-
meant to tell us like, oh, maybe there's somebody inside. This one actually,
I've never seen this screenshot before.
yeah, there's a bunch of screenshots that you probably have never seen before, John. But this one here, this gives us an aerial perspective. Probably the best thing that this screenshot tells us is that there is a path to the left. This is where the truck was in the original.
Yeah.
So there's no truck there right now.
It's interesting. It could. This is what I'm saying. Like, the house could be flipped because in the original, there, at the entrance, when you're walking, just before you walk up the stairs, if you go all the way to the left side, there's a carriage.
Is it like wheelbarrow
like a-
kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that. Something you tie like a horse to or whatever, and you'd walk.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. So I'm wondering if this whole area is just completely flipped, and down this walkway here is that, or like you said, it might be that path where the truck is. It kind of makes you, because that looks really tight over there, so it has to be. Maybe this house has a backyard. Maybe it has a
And at the same
backyard.
time, if the truck is there, because we enter from the woods under that barbed wire, remember? My question is, if the truck is there, if the truck moves, like, where's it gonna go?
Yeah, exactly. Where's it gonna? You can
Like,
drive right into the
are we
barbed
are we
wire?
going to see the truck actually run off the cop's car, or are we not going to see that at all? Because, and we're going to talk about this later, we don't actually see the cops or their car at any point in any of the material that we've been shown. Has that been changed? We don't know.
Oh yeah. Do they end up in that river, or do they?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a good question. We also have this screenshot as well, and this we also seen from the showcase, and my god, John.
Oh, here they are.
Here they are.
I have a feeling they probably just put this here like that. Like I think this is, I'm gonna say staged.
Possibly.
For the showcase, because in the original, when you walked up to the house, obviously there was no one around you. So I'm wondering if this is after your first encounter, and then the canals are outside, or did they twist it up and they're outside chilling, but then they follow you? You know what I mean? Like they don't, like they're neutral, and you kind of like go past them, and then they follow you. Oh, that'd be kind of creepy. See how creepy it looks inside? I can't. Oh man.
It's firewood, some tools, and there's something on the door. I can't tell what that is. It looks like an X. I don't know. Maybe it's like no visitors or something.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Do
I
not
don't know.
enter.
And here we have this slow motion shot of Leon entering the village. And this is why I was talking about before, how this here is the gate to the village. So whatever we saw before with the crows, it's probably not that gate. I think this is the gate.
And now I have questions. Why is it daytime? How does it go from nighttime to daytime?
Okay,
Is
well,
it actually supposed to be the beginning?
I don't think this is night. I think
Oh, maybe like early morning?
I think this is meant to be, well, okay, it's overcast, first of all, and it's a dense forest, so I think it's meant to be dawn or dusk. I can't tell. Maybe midday, possibly. I don't know. Can I just say, I love how they remade the village, because it looks like damn near one-to-one, almost. Like, I know, like, this is the barn, this is the cow barn here, the house over here, this is where you find the shotgun, this is the part that leads to the church, the bell tower. Like, I think the wagon's even in the same spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, that's crazy. They did it almost one-to-one.
This looks very... What I like about it, it looks very medieval looking. Like, it's not like the original village where you can tell that it's a village. Like, this looks like it's been here for centuries. And it's still up and running.
And it's just been decaying because...
Over time.
Yeah,
because of the plaga.
As the people have decayed, the world around it has decayed as well. And then we have this screenshot, this aerial screenshot of the village.
Well, that's from the big tower.
Yeah. And I love the autumn colors. Like, yeah, we were talking before that it might be in fall. You can tell it's very warm. It's very warm, it feels.
Even that tree just above the fire, yeah, that one.
This one here.
It looks like it has like orange and red leaves, so this is definitely fall season. Has to be September.
Yeah, and you can tell when I was talking about the one-to-one layout, this is where we enter here, this path, and then this path over here, it's the same. There's that little house, and then I think
there's that gate, that one that leads to the chief's house.
The chief's house, yeah. And then there's even down here, you can go in behind the cow barn, which is this one here.
I wonder if there's going to be a cow for us to shoot.
And this barn we couldn't go into in the main game. We could in Mercenaries.
Mercenaries, yeah.
I wonder if we can in this game, because you see how it's kind of collapsed. So I wonder if we could see inside, maybe? And we could also see this water. The
water
one the one Leon looks at and goes, man, it's dirty. The shot of the bell tower we can see better in this shot over here.
Ooh.
Look at this.
I don't think you're going to climb up that thing. Or maybe you could.
Maybe. It looks collapsed, doesn't it? Like the top, at least, where the bell is.
That wouldn't pass no safety.
You might be able to go up here where the window is. Yeah.
But not any higher like the original.
We also see chickens.
Oh, chickens are confirmed. We can throw eggs.
We could get, maybe we
Well,
can get
we
eggs.
can get eggs.
I don't know if we can
That's-
throw eggs, but we can get eggs. I want to talk about the fire pit here, because in the original, it was just like a spike that had the police officer. But if you look at it here, it's the symbol. It's the Los Illuminados
It's
symbol.
the symbol, and they tied him up to the symbol. Buddy, that's some dark shit.
And he's, and he's
Like-
burning.
Like, that
is it this shot? Yeah, look, Leon looking at the fire. I think, is that wood or is that him?
I think it's his foot. I'm convinced that is his foot.
They like made it
the
like
fire is even the outline of the person. It's not
Yeah,
just
like a-
engulfed in flames.
they made it like a burning cross almost that they lay him on like a sacrifice.
That is friggin' disturbing.
And we could also see what is this building that leads to the church? Is that like a mini church?
I don't know. It looks like a church. Even the original looked like a church, but when you went inside, it was like a dining room.
Yeah.
It made no sense. So I'm
Yeah.
not too sure what it's supposed to be. I think it might be a church, but not
Mm.
the church.
Yeah. I believe this is the
Yeah, I was
doorway.
gonna say, I think that might be that, because that's the only part that looks like it has solid stone and the way it's arched.
Yeah. And
I
then
don't
it
think
has,
any other place has that.
has these skulls and then the door. I
Oh,
know
there
this
it
is
is.
the door because it has the insignia on it. We need the insignia key to open this. And now we have the bingo shot, as we call it.
You better say it. I'm just saying.
I mean, he might. Now, another thing we gotta talk about is we were talking about the post. It was on fire.
No, it's not.
And now it's not. So the other question is, because this takes place after, I guess, the village ambush, after the villagers have left, and Leon just looks around like, yo, bingo. But then he looks around and sees, hey, the fire went out. So did they put the fire out? Did they take the body? If there was a body on there, did they take it to, like, to Saddler as a sacrifice or something? What did they do? I'm gonna show a screenshot here. John, I have no idea where this is.
Oh, I know exactly where that would be.
Where?
My speculation is the first house. The reason why I say that is because if you remember, before you went up the stairs, underneath that stairs cupboard or closet space, whatever it would be called underneath a stairwell, there was the boxes with the skulls and the maggots. And when Leon goes there, he says, oh, like, this isn't good or whatever, I better find Ashley fast. Like, I think this might be, like, there might be more to the first house than just one dude and a fire.
You think?
Like, I think there's probably a basement.
That's what I was about to say. You think this is like a cellar? Like you go down
Yeah.
the steps?
That looks creepy as shit. Especially that he has his flashlight out. There's guaranteed to be a jump scare somewhere. Has to be a jump scare.
I love that you brought up the flashlight because I was about to say that's another reference to the beta. In the beta, he had a
Yeah.
flashlight. In
It
the
wasn't attached to his pants.
Yeah, in the original game, he had a flashlight attached to his little belt there. Here, he's holding a
Actually
flashlight
holding
and
it.
his gun. So
His
that is
pistol.
that is totally from the beta. This is definitely the first cabin
Yeah,
with the
for
Ganado.
sure. I like how it's, you know, there's actually life prior to your arrival. It's not just there.
Mhm. Now we have this part, and we have this shot. This.
Oh, the first facial.
Look
His
at
eyes are red. His beard's scraggly. Damn, that's me on a Friday night.
it. We also have this piece of art.
Oh,
that
look at
gives
that.
it-
That's when he turns at you and then he says whatever he says in Spanish. You know what I like? I like the red eyes because this first dude in the original had brown normal eyes, and then when the big cheese strangles Leon, his eyes turn red. And then in the original game, when you actually see the guys with the red eyes, their eyes just glow. But this here is like actual red.
Yeah, like
eye.
they're like
you can tell
like,
this man's infected.
like bloodshot, kind of like
Yeah,
he's
I like that.
like burst of vein, which
He's
I think
got scars on his face too. Like this man's been like roughed
that
up.
unkept. Yeah, it's like blood on his shirt, kind of.
That looks creepy as shit.
John, be honest with me. Does this guy not look like Abraham Lincoln?
Does this look like Abraham Lincoln?
He does, doesn't he? And maybe it's just me, but I can't place this Ganado from the original.
Honestly, I thought it was one of the women.
Is it a woman?
That's the first thing I thought of. But the longer I look at it, it just looks like one of the guys.
Oh, this shot. I love this shot.
I wonder where that happens. I can't figure out where that is. It's outside. It's just it makes
Mhm.
you wonder, like, is that like a death sequence? Is it gonna be a quick time event?
Is
Is it a
it?
cutscene?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You know,
Is
you're
it?
walking and then you get ambushed, and it's
Are you
a quick time
caught?
event.
Yeah, like, do you get caught? Is this?
Or is it just for the trailer that they just slapped together? Like, there's so many questions with this.
Now,
Mm,
okay, is this the castle or the church? Because I don't
um,
know. Part of me wants to say church, but at the same time, it looks too much like the castle. Like, I don't know.
maybe it's a redesign of that castle that's inside the village. You know how you go in, you need the key, and it looks like a church, and we're just like, oh, what the hell is this thing? Like, this could be like a redesign. And then if you look at your right hand side, I can't tell if that's a dresser or a door, and maybe
I
that
think that's actually
leads to the tunnel.
yeah, that is a door because you can see overhead. That's the back room there that
Like
leads to
maybe
underground.
maybe that if
Oh,
that's the case, maybe that back room is that living quarters area when you first walk in there, right? Maybe they just changed it
oh,
up
and
because
that
this does look like a church.
yeah. So this is the church like in the village. Also, we see our first look at the zealot, I think.
Is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called.
If you're right, this is in the village. Is this going to be the first time we see one of these guys? Does he run into the back room once he sees us?
And then you chase him and you realize, oh my god, it's an underground tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Like
something.
maybe because we're told Ashley's in a church, maybe we think she's here, but she's not here, and then we follow, and then we see the actual church, which we'll talk about later. Moving on, we have this shot. Now, this is the castle?
I would assume this part here has to be the
Yeah,
castle.
this would be the castle, and
That is terrifying as shit. If I walk around the corner and I see these guys walking towards me, I'm turning off the game. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, because
Because that's actually scary. Look at that face.
I think he's wearing like a mask or something to cover his mouth.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and they have their hoods. What's this red thing that's dangling? Or is that part of the
Maybe it's part of the outfit.
yeah, bandana type thing? It's covering his
Oh
mouth.
yeah, maybe he has a bandana on, yeah. There's the church. That's the actual
church. The actual church. Look how run down and like kind of
Stained and
moldy
creepy.
and bleh. And I think this here is this a tombstone? Are these the tombstones that have the little like symbols in them?
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's what that looks like, yeah.
We don't know what the church because if you're right about the church in the village of that old one, then we don't know what's going to be inside here. Is the light puzzle still going to be there? We don't know. You see here while I was talking about that motif of the Los Illuminados symbol, here we see it where it's hands. Maybe this was like one of the first like symbols of Los Illuminados.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe this is like
Because like this was carved into stone, right?
it's a symbol of the village, and then you know they kind of made it their own when Sadler or whatever happened came
Yeah.
into place. You know what I mean? Like it's
But you also see how there's blood dripping down. Is this that area where we
I
see
think I know
the
what you're talking
sacrifice? Yeah, where Ada is in separate
Yeah.
ways.
that's what that looks like. I was gonna say because there's no other spot in the game that has a sacrificial table unless they added one in.
Where we know Leon gets injected with Las Plagas when he's knocked out. During that section where we see Sadler for the first time,
Yeah.
I think this is the same time, but we actually see it as a nightmare. So Leon's tied up, he's kind of knocked out, and you see how he's like slowly kind of waking up. He sees this shadowy figure, and then we get, of course, the jump scare where we see the tentacles pop out of his hand. He's creepy as hell, and I think this is going to be like a jump scare, and then Leon wakes up.
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
I don't know how I feel about the voice. I mean, I think I need more audio from him.
But this guy actually sounds like he has a bit of that Sadler's accent, but he also sounds like he has an actual Spanish accent. We have this shot of Torres Mendez, the big cheese. This is in his house, right?
It looks like it. It looks like the hallway.
I don't know if you can tell, but he has a hat. They gave him a hat, like
Oh, nice.
like Mr. X.
I like it. I like it.
I don't
Look
know.
at that. Look at that dapper man.
I don't know if that means that he's gonna act like Mr. X and he's gonna like pursue you through the village.
I mean, I feel like that would kind of make sense because you're in his town, but I don't like the idea of the stalker crap.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's a good one, not a one done deal, but like a quick little segment, and you quickly have to get away from him or something like that. Like that seems.
Mhm.
Not that I'm trying to figure out, do I want the shotgun ammo or do I want to shoot this chicken? And then I hear footsteps. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Trying to play the game for God's sakes.
So, this shot confirms a lot of things. So, anyone in the leaks that are like, oh, they're gonna cut Del Lago. They're not gonna cut Del Lago, because we
No,
have a
I've
shot
done-
right here of Leon on the boat.
I don't think they're gonna cut him.
No.
I think that's been debunked.
Yeah.
Debunked? Yeah, debunked.
Well,
That's the
we
word.
know it's debunked because we seen it right here. He's on the boat. So that section's at least going to, you know, be here where here we fight Del Lago and then we end up here with Leon knocked out, or not knocked out, but like he's passed out in the boat. We could also see that the boat, it's still a wooden boat with a motor. And another thing that I pointed out the last time we talked about this, Leon does lose his jacket. So we see his bare arms. So he probably still gets his jacket stolen from him at around the same time. So those people like, oh, is he going to keep his jacket the whole time? Is he going to lose it? We know he's going to lose it. I want to see what they do with Del Lago. That leak you were talking about, if the harpoons or with the spears, that we only have a certain amount. I don't know
that's
how.
what I heard.
I don't know how balanced that's gonna be.
I just hope they don't do that. I'd rather have infinite amounts because that boss fight's a pain in the ass. and I hate
Either
seeing this.
that or don't use harpoons. Just let them shoot them.
That works too.
Let us
Use
use
your
our.
own-
Let us actually use our guns. Or maybe make it so the boat is not tied to Del Lago, but we have free control over the boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your favorite scene. I'm looking forward to this in the remake. Oh boy.
Back when me and John first played, or when John first showed me Resident Evil 4, when I was way too young to be playing it, when he was way too young to be playing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were both way too young to be playing.
How old were you? Like 10? I was like 6?
Oh well, yeah. When the game first came out, yeah, I was like
Yeah.
9, 10.
Yeah, and then you showed me, and I was fine the whole way through playing it, and then we got to this scene, or the scene in the original where he sees the shit in his veins, and then you see it take over his face, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. Turn it off.
That's why I'm curious to see what it looks like during like.
And you can tell like he's like struggling, and I think that's gonna be probably the best type of horror that they're gonna tie into or kind of tap into, is the fact that he's like losing his ability to like control himself because the parasite's taking over. So like here you see like he's like moving his arms, so like they're moving like on their own, like he's losing control. And I think that's going to be really scary. If they do it right, it's going to be really scary. You could also see in the shot that he does have the knife on his shoulder there, or his
His chest there.
harness there, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on, we have the shot of Luis with his red 9. So the red
9 confirmed.
It's crazy. And you could also see Luis is not wearing that weird vest. It's more like it's like just a leather,
leather jacket.
yeah, just a leather jacket, but it does have like the what are these called, adornments, or like
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, like
That looks like.
the little like flourishes on it. Now my question is this in the cabin fight, or where is this where he has his gun?
That might.
So
I would assume it would be the cabin fight because I don't think he has his pistol anywhere else. Or it's probably one of the scenes in the castle.
maybe this is when he goes back
Yeah.
to get the thing, and he's
Maybe.
like, I'll be
And he pulls it up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be back."
He's
Basically
like,
the
yeah,
Terminator.
he's just like, yeah, don't worry, I'll be right back. And then he goes.
Pulls out the pistol and he runs.
He's like, I got this, don't worry.
Guess you, me, picked the wrongest spot to vacation, eh?
I recognize that. I recognize that very well.
I guess you.
That's probably when they were tied up together. I feel
Yeah.
like that would be
Yeah.
that part.
I guess we picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh? I love that he has the accent still.
And he's cocky,
Yeah.
I think. Or like he has that like swag to him, I guess you could say. I like that. I always like Luis. I wish there was more to him. Hopefully we get more of a lore or
Yeah.
background of
Yeah,
who
like
he is, and they talk about his grandfather in the original game. Maybe they might bring that up. We're very like, it's one of those notes saying that when they're trying to find Luis, they were saying like, oh, you know, Luis's grandfather used to live in the village or something, and he dug those underground tunnels. That's how Luis manages to move so fast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And all that shit. So like, I wonder if that's going to be mentioned at all, right? That's where all those underground spots came from. They came from his grandfather.
That's interesting.
Whenever you're walking and you go under and all that shit, like it's pretty cool to think about.
Well, hopefully they expand the lore, and we'll see what happens with Luis. Miss Ada Wong.
I love Ada. I love that outfit.
I thought, okay, to be honest, when I first saw the trailer, like first viewing, without like really analyzing it, I thought this was her mercenary's outfit.
Ooh.
And then I realized it's not, because it has sleeves. It's more like a vest or like a sweater vest.
Like a wool
Yeah.
or something. Like it looked like a thick sweater
Yeah.
or a thick turtleneck. It looks like it
Yeah.
might be a turtleneck.
Turtleneck with the
I like it, to
holster.
be honest.
With the holster. Yeah, I'll be honest. I like it better than the Chinese dress that she wears in the original.
I really like this.
Yeah, this
This
is
is probably the scene when you first after the maze.
I was
That's
about,
the-
I was
that's what
about to
that
say,
background
yeah,
looks
the
like.
background, that's the bedroom. How will it now? This is a question. Because this game is being tied to the remake of Resident Evil 2, it's carrying on. So Leon thinks Ada's dead because he sees her die. So when she shows up in this part, and Leon's been like 6 years faking this woman's been dead, and now he's gonna see her, like that's gonna rip him apart.
Oh yeah, it's
like-
love of his life.
I think this is gonna be an interesting scene to watch in the remake. So now moving on to some footage that was not in the original, that was completely new.
This looks like something they pulled right out of Resident Evil 6.
And you know what? When I saw this, this is the first thing we see, and I'm immediately like, I'm set. This is it. I have full hope. I am confident as hell that this is going to be a good game, because they're adding things. Like,
Yeah.
never in the original did we ever see Leon in the White House with the president. We never see anything like that. We never see the president to, like, full stop. So,
Yeah, there's nothing with them except for that one postcard.
was that a postcard?
Yeah, it was one of the letters just before the final fight with
Yeah,
Sadler.
but was that
Was that actually
the
him?
president?
I have
Yeah,
no
I have
idea.
no idea either.
Right?
But
Could be
thi-
anybody.
But this we see that's actually him. We see Leon. I'm not sure if that's the same model, or maybe this is like a CG fit, because this looks like a real person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it looks real. Like, when I
Yeah.
first seen this, I'm just like, yo, did they get, like, some live action shit for this
Yeah.
thing? Like, this looks too real. I like it. I'm curious to see where in the game this takes place. Is it the very beginning, or is it just after the intro mission, and then you see Leon, like, you know,
hmm
bada boom, bada bing, which one is it, buddy?
Gondor Wonder Roost. I've located Baby Eagle.
So I like that they're actually speaking in code, like what secret agent people would actually do. Plus, the code names, Condor 1, that's what Leon's code name, Condor 1, Roost being, I guess, Hunnigan, if Hunnigan's in the game, or whoever, Baby Eagle being Ashley, which makes sense, because if Eagle is the president, like the commander-in-chief, whatever, you know, the kid of the president of Eagle would be Baby Eagle. I like that. I actually think that's really cool.
I didn't even think of that. That's not even crossed my mind. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they actually put some thought into, like, the secrecy of, like, his job.
Oh, I've never seen this before.
What I was talking about before about how Leon has his beta appearance.
Isn't this actually his beta appearance?
Close, but not exactly. She does, in her beta outfit, wear, like, a coat similar to this, but she's wearing, like, pants and boots. But this one is very... It's a mix of both the original and the beta. So you have her in like the kind of coat, like orange raincoat. She has, instead of like whatever that weird sweater thing was,
Like the sweater vest type of thing that's wrapped around, not
Yeah.
sweater vest, whatever that
Yeah.
the polo guys wear, the golf players.
yeah,
She actually has like a scarf.
yeah, like a scarf around. She has the skirt. I think she's wearing like what is that? Like
Leggings or something.
yeah,
or
like something.
pantyhose.
She also has the high boots. So she still has, like, her outfit is pretty much one-to-one, just with the addition of the coat. Now, with this scene, we see Ashley running. This is the same area, because you see the signpost behind her. So is this the opening of the game? And we actually play as Ashley running away from, like, whoever, like, her captors are.
Maybe. Oh man, that's it. That's
This is definitely gameplay.
yeah, that's the scene. That's it. That's the one.
This is it.
I never liked playing as Ashley. There's a potential part where you might have to play her twice.
Might have to
What
play her
looks
more,
like-
more than twice. There could be
Yeah,
multiple
maybe
sections.
even more than twice. I mean, it's gonna be good because it adds a little bit of understanding to the.
Kind of like what her experience was.
Yeah, that I do appreciate. Her eyes are green? That has to be bullshit.
Wait.
She doesn't have green eyes. Yeah, those are brown eyes or hazel.
Yeah, there are hazel. Holy shit. Oh, so they changed it. Well, I mean...
I like the green.
Yeah, I think
suits
the
it.
green looks better. That was our trailer breakdown and analysis of the trailer footage, the Capcom showcase, and the recent screenshots that we've received on the Resident Evil 4 remake. Very excited. We both had a lot of opinions, a lot of theories about what this game could become, and until we get more footage, that will be all for right now.
Yeah, that's all. That's it.
So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.
See ya.